start. And just to add some more information to Andrea's introduction, I would like to tell you that Aranka was the former head of the student college we are going to talk about for 15 years. So she's my mentor and tutor and teacher and master in this topic. And I was the student of this student college, and now I'm the head of this association, and we are working together in the institution and the department. We are teaching together, and in this year I hope I'm going to finish my PhD studies, and this topic is also part of my PhD dissertation research, so it's connected to our research topic. Okay, Gergő, can I ask you the next slide, please? So our presentation is going to be about a Roma student college called Vyslotsky Henrik Student College. It operates in Pécs, and here you can see a team photo about our students. It was taken in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So. And it was made in the Gandhi High School, which was mentioned in connected to the previous presentation. Can I ask you for the next slide? Thank you. At first, we would like, yes, so after a presentation, we asked 2 students to come here to this meeting, to the conference, to share their thoughts about the student college and their about their experiences. So they are going to be introduced to you, and they are going to talk to you about the practice we were talking about. Okay, and at first we would like to introduce you briefly the Roma nationality in Hungary. According to the 2010 census, 317,000 people declared themselves to be of Roma. Various research studies and Roma organizations estimate this number to be between 650,000 and 1 million. The political and social changes following the change of regime had a major impact on the Roma. Although the Minority Act 1993 granted Roma rights to ethnic minorities, the mobility started in the previous period was hindered by the development of the market economy, Roma being the real losers of the regime change. In terms of education, the situation of Roma improved significantly by the 1990s, especially in the younger age group. In 25 years, the proportion of those who completed 8 grades has risen from 1/3 to 2/3, and a layer of 10% skilled workforce has also appeared. However, the negligible proportion of graduates remained unchanged. It's 0.1%, as the Serbian presenter said. In the decade 2000-2010, a complete system of education was developed, offering equitable educational benefits from birth to higher education, specifically for the legal category of disadvantaged Roma students. The support system setup was in line with the EU Lisbon principles and strategies for educational integration. In Hungary, mostly at the field of education researches, we have difficulties with the definition and with the law. In Hungary, disadvantaged means that a student has uneducated parents or have very bad living conditions. In Hungary, many Roma, maybe half of the Roma community, lives at this situation, so it could be easy to combine the category of Roma and disadvantaged students, but that's true that not every Roma student is poor, so to be disadvantaged or Roma is not the same. After 2011, the Hungarian government established the network of the Roma student colleges and support these organizations with significant sort of money. On the map, you can see 11 Roma student colleges, which helping nearly 300 students at various universities in the country, run by churches and secular organizations. If we examine our card, we could see where the Roma population live the most and where the Roma student colleges are take place too. Our college is part of this network since 2013. Can I have the third slide? Thanks. Here we can see the logo of the Henryk Wysocki Student College, hereinafter referred to as VHS. So student college is kind of a unique establishment in the Hungarian higher education. It's a group of students who not necessarily live together, but work together on their own professional life paths. For example, support each other's scientific research or do common research and publications. So it is not an individual organization, but operates within a university or a college. The Henryk Wysocki Roma Student College is an academic student society within the University of Pécs with a mission to mentor Roma students through academic projects and field research and to support the process of inclusion by organizing forums and community building activities for Roma youth and allies. The association was established in 2002, after realizing that young people who entered the University of Pécs are leaving the campus after 6-12 months. The Department of Romology and Educational Sociology at the Faculty of Humanities recognized this and started pursuing an initiative. All teachers involved had prior experience with the difficulties of schooling disadvantaged Roma students, and perhaps more importantly, they had strong dedication to examine this issue and to find practical solutions. For the above reasons, VHS was established and open to students interested in Roma studies, but it was also open to serve students from Roma families. The mission of the VHS is to offset the lack of the different kind of capitals, support the students to get their degrees, to get a job, and to strengthen the identity of the students. This last process means that we not just focus on different identities, but we think and strengthen every kind of identity is equal and valuable. Can I have the next slide? Thanks. Here we collected some of our researches which were published in English. During the period 2010 and 2021, Aranka and I did several researches among the students of the VHS, and the presentation we are giving today is based on the results of those researches. The researches had two main points. First, we were curious about what the student college is. What is its pedagogical substance? Then we tried to find out what kind of life situation our students have. We examined these elements under the framework of inclusion. We seek after what the students got from the student college, what they expected, and how this community support helped them getting their graduation. On the next slide, we can see this context. So we examined our student college and our students from the viewpoint of inclusive model, input, process, and output. We have seek for the impact of the inclusive environment with our students' life path, opinion, and situation. We have relied on some theory and concepts in our examinations. At the point of called input, the students of the examined group in our study can be considered resilient as they have successfully moved forward in public education and are currently studying in higher education. During our researches, it got clear that there were protective factors which helped them to enter the higher education. Examining the inclusive environment, we found that we also can find protective factors such as the inclusive attitude of the experts or the tools the student college used, which supported the college students to successfully get their graduation. The phenomenon of empowerment in educational context, linked to the concept of inclusivity and resilience, creates a new perspective. This more complex approach highlights the necessity of the conscious development of individual empowerment. With the aim of developing empowerment, the inclusive environment becomes more interactive to providing supportive conditions for the individual. The inclusive environment that builds upon self-creation and cooperation presupposes the goal of achieving the resilience of people within it. The positive experiences of cooperation contribute to the inner integration and maintenance of empowerment on a personal level. At the output, we have data about the graduation, and next to this, we can talk about the capitals the students got during the years they spent at the college. These are the social, human, and positive psychological capitals that are the most important for a successful life. So on the next slide, we can see the input, thanks, based on a research was made in 2017. We can talk about the students' background. So you can see that they brought so many disadvantages, but they also got more support. So almost half, 11% of the students who were interviewed are characterized by intersectionality. A further 8 people identified themselves as Roma, but there were not any documents related to the legal criteria for the disadvantaged status. Overall, 70% of the respondents are Roma. 6 college students confirmed their social disadvantaged status, but did not classify themselves as Roma. 2 members of the community do not belong to any of the aforementioned categories, but have joined the student college because of their different disadvantages, for example, a broken home, seeking for a supportive background. If we look behind the scenes during the interviews, we could see that they arrived with so many difficulties, but many of them had the motivation to study and to go further, which means they possessed certain positive psychological capital. The intersectional situation they were in, we mean that they are Roma and also they are in a disadvantaged situation. It is because our research based on the law category, which is very strict. But when they told their stories, it was clear that more than the half of the group belongs to the category of intersectionality. We brought a quite old data about the students, but our personal experience is that the students' characteristics are very similar every year to this result. To document our hypotheses, we use the theory of Lutyens about the capitals. On the next slide, we can see this theory. Based on the interviews of the Roma Student College members, this community is like a family relationship or friendship, and as a reference group provides obtainable patterns for learning motivation. So being part of a community such as the Roma Student College can also contribute to the strengthening of positive psychological capital. This supportive inner, personal and communal force is complemented by the cultural and social capital available in the services and network of the student college. One of our members said, you can turn to the community and their members with anything. And the core that has developed within the community is, I think, so precious, and that is very, very important. And this has become a fixed point in my life, at least for a while. So on the next slide, refer to the theory, we can see the structure of our student college program, pedagogical program. There were 3 main parts, And inside in these, we found the elements of the pedagogical practice. So the first is the personal support with tutor and the scholarship support, with conscious progress with career plan, with learning service, for example, foreign language courses, and with developing competencies, for example, traveling to abroad. The next main point is the active community, which we can find a community place where every student can come and do their jobs, do their studies, or anything they need. There were cultural activities, Roma identity development and identity development, self-help mechanism with mentoring program, and volunteering for social responsibility. Here, I can tell you that a mentor and a tutor is a different person in this program. A tutor is a teacher from the university who help or support the students' studies and professional career. And the mentor is another student, mainly an older student, who mainly support the community life of the students and to integrate them into the university's life. On the third part, at the scientific activities, we found participation in individual and group scientific activities, talent nurturing, and developing of different capitals with scientific activities. With these elements, or we could say services, we decrease the lack of different capitals of the students and finally strengthen their positive psychological capital. When we try to find out which are the most important elements for the students on the first place, we found the community, and just after that, the scholarship and other services followed. And here we arrive to a very important point. Nowadays, at the labor market, the most necessary is having good contacts and relations. So this is what Coleman called social capital. Generally, these youngsters do not have enough capital to be successful at the society, but with this function of the student college, they can stop this gap. On the next slide, we can see the output, called output in the inclusive model. And we can see results of a research which was made in 2019. An illustration of graduation and dropout data shows that 61 students from 104 successfully completed their studies at Wysocki Henrik Student College and in the University of Pécs between 2013 and 2018. In this study, the unsuccessful performers, the dropouts, are considered those whose student status was determined at the University of Pécs without graduation. Those students who exceeded their studies completion period but still have legal status are in the system and have a chance to graduate. It is evident that 35 are those who graduated and 9 were those who completed the graduation exam but did not complete the terms for final examination and diploma, thesis, or language exam. According to our data, there were 17 people who, for some reason, lost their student status with the University of Pécs without obtaining qualification. We compared the rates of the student college with the data of the whole University of Pécs, and we found that the graduation data rates and the waiting for graduation rates data are quite the same, as you can see on the second half of the slide. On the next slide, we can see a comparative diagram. The Inclusive University Office is doing a big research where they examine a huge number of data. They collected all the students' graduation data between 2010 and 2019 at University of Pécs. This database helped us to compare also the dropout rates with the VHS, with our student college rates. We can see that the university has worse average than the student college. And if we see the reasons, we can find that the own request plays smaller role in the college students' data, which could mean that the VHS can strongly hold their students and we don't let them go out of the university. So if we see these strict numbers, we can say that the VHS is very effective in its mission and has better rates than the whole University of Pécs. On the next slide, we would like to sum up somehow our results. And we would like to show that our students are studying in very different fields and in very different levels. You can see that there are students from Faculty of Medicine, Humanities, Arts or Sciences. And you can see that we have students from the whole level system, I mean BA, MA, undivided trainings or teacher trainings. And after this, if we look deeply into the student future plans, what we asked them in 2017 in our research, that they have, we can see that they have very concrete and very specific ideas about their work and job. This is a very important attribute of the positive psychological capital. To sum up, we would like to say that the gap which was carried by the students decreased for the moment they finish their graduation. And what's more, treating with the Roma community is part of our student college members' future plans, which means that the developing of empowerment was successful. We can say it because we had a research when there was a control group from majority students of the University of Pécs, and they did not mention this kind of relation to any communities, or especially to Roma communities. So we couldn't find this kind of social responsibility in their answers. Okay, and in our last slide, we would like to thank you. Can I ask you, Gerbe, to switch? Thanks. We would like to show you a photo which was taken in Barcelona last February during a scientific field work. Our students and our teachers were in a Roma Gypsy community for visiting them and to do their researches. And with this, we would like to say thank you for listening us. And now this is the moment when I would like to introduce you two of our students we invited here. István Orsos, who studies math and physics and going to be a teacher. And we have Krisztián Kőszegi with us, who graduated as a history and geography teacher last year and now works in the student college and works with the students. And he was he's our alumni student. So I would like to ask you, Pécs and Krisztián, to tell us some thoughts about your feelings, experiences, and attachment to the VHS, which can connect to our former presentation, but more about the practice and about your experiences. Can I ask you, Pécs, to start?
Yes, I can. So, yes, I am a mathematics and physics teacher at University of Pécs for 5 years. And in addition, I am students from VHS for 5 years. So I have a lot of experience in this session. For example, my favorite things that we can travel a lot, such as the Barcelona. We can have fun a lot because in this class, people the same things or the same thinking about life, about learning. So we can speak a lot. We can have fun. We can planning the life. So yes, I like this place because in the university I have been lost, and I found found again the people in VHS. Um, um, in the university, we have a room, the VHS room, and if we want to meet together, we can in this place. And usually we use this room a lot for learning, for speaking together, or I don't know, just sitting the seat and speak a lot. So yes, yes, I like this. And if you want, Christian, speak, you can.
Nagy tisztelettel köszöntök én is mindenkit. Én szeretném inkább magyarul kifejezni magam, mert biztonságosabbnak érzem, hogyha így beszélek, úgyhogy megkérem Gergőt, hogy fordítson nekem, hogyha van rá lehetőség.
Okay, so Christian is very happy to be here with you, and he asked me to translate him because he feels more comfortable in speaking Hungarian. So I'm going to be his voice and do my best to give all the ideas that he shares with us. So let's go ahead, Christian. Thank you.
Hát én nemrég szereztem meg a diplomámat, így jelenleg földrajz történelmi tanárként is tevékenykedem, de ahhoz, hogy idáig eljussak, mert nagyon hátrányos helyzetű családból érkezek, ezért szükségem volt egy befogadó, inkluzív környezetre.
Okay, so Christian has finished his diploma, and he is right now working as a teacher of geography and history as well. And he mentioned that it was very important for him that he had a stable background at the student college because he's of a disadvantaged background, and it was much of a help for him that he could join a community like this.
A barátságos, biztonságos környezetet már a középfokú tanulmányaim során is megtapasztalhattam, hiszen egy speciális középfokú intézményben jártam, aminek a célja az volt, hogy főleg hátrányos helyzetű diákokat készítsenek fel az érettségire.
He says he is lucky that he was in a secondary school that was friendly and safe as an environment, and it was very supporting. That was a special secondary school that prepares students of disadvantaged backgrounds for the final exam. That is a milestone in the Hungarian education system, and after that it was meaningful for him to join the student college.
Majd ezt követően, a sikeres érettségi vizsgálat után, az egyetemi éveim kezdetén csatlakoztam a Miskolci-Herik szakkollégiumhoz.
After graduating from secondary school, he joined the university, and in the very beginning, he became a member of the student college.
Számomra azért volt nagyon fontos és hasznos a szakkollégium, mert azt éreztették velem, hogy fontos tagja vagyok a közösségnek. Különböző bocsánat, sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
Különböző feladatokat bíztak rám. Amire leginkább büszke vagyok, az az, hogy szervezhettem házi konferenciákat, illetve különböző közösségi programokat bonyolíthattam le.
It's very important for him, and it was in the very beginning that he felt that he's an important part of the community, and it was very useful for him that he could organize different conferences and also different community programs during his studies and being a member of the student college.
Természetesen a tanulmányaimban és a programok szervezésében sosem éreztem magam egyedül. Folyamatosan támogatott a tutorom, ami elhangzott már, hogy ugye ez egy egyetemi tanár volt, illetve a nálamnál idősebb kortárs mentorok.
In his studies and organizing different events, he never felt alone, and he gained much support from the student college, especially his mentor, as Fanni has mentioned before. He or she was a university teacher back then, and it was much help for him that he wasn't alone with these tasks.
És majd ahogy teltek az évek, szakkollégiumban én is mentor lettem, ami számomra nagyon nagy felelősséget jelentett. Úgy éreztem, hogy ez a titulus hozzásegített ahhoz, hogy rendezettebb, összeszedettebb, céltudatosabb életem legyen, hiszen példaként kellett állnom a fiatalabb társaim előtt. Kialakult bennem egyfajta self-help mechanizmus.
As the years passed by, he became a mentor himself in the student college, which was much responsibility for him, and it made him more organized and about his life as well. And he felt the responsibility that he has to pass on the knowledge that he acquired in the student college to his younger peers. And he referred to that self-help mechanism has appeared in his life in this context.
Az összeszedettség, illetve rendezettség hatására még a szakkollégium hallgatói elnöke is lehettem, amely további magabiztosságot, további töltést adott ahhoz, hogy én elvégezzem az egyetemet.
As he was passing on with his studies, he became the leader of the student college, the student leader, which even gave him much more confidence to finish his university studies. And also in his private life, it was helpful to acquire that confidence.
Csak hogy felhozzak pár konkrét példát, ami számomra nagyon hasznos volt még. Én elmondanám, hogy a szakkollégium segítségével tudtam bekapcsolódni a tudományos kutatás világába, illetve hát hozzásegített a szakkollégium ahhoz, hogy egyáltalán bent tudjak maradni az egyetemen, sőt, még a zárószigorlatomat is végigkísért tervezett.
He mentioned three different examples in which the student college was much help for him. First of all, with the help of the student college, he could join different research, which was very useful for him. And he even said that it was even helpful that he could finish his university studies, and he gained much help during his closing exams at the university.
Ami még nagyon fontos, hogy érezzük azt is, hogy azért nem is engedik olyan könnyen el az ember kezét. Miután próbáltam szusszanni a diploma megszerzése után, Varga Aranka egyből megtalált, és egy újabb kutató munkába von be, amit egyébként még jelenleg is folytatunk.
That is a good sign for him that the community doesn't let its members to go, and they keep in touch in several aspects of their lives. For instance, he mentioned that Aranka Varga, after Christian has finished his studies at the university, immediately asked him to join to research together, and this is something that he is very proud of.
Összességében elmondható, hogy én az elmúlt pár évben inkább éreztem magam szakkollégistának, mint egyetemistának, és ez az egyéni és személyes támogatásnak köszönhető.
To sum it up, he says that during his studies at the university, he felt much more a member of the student college than as the member of the university, and he apostrophs it for the help of the student college and the individual support that he gained during his studies.
Éppen egy tanodában vagyok jelen, ahol továbbadhatom azt a tudást és tapasztalatot, amelyet a szakkollégim biztosított számomra. Tehát, hogy ezt még kamatoztatni is tudom az alattam lévő generációnak.
He is right now in an institution that I'm afraid I don't know the English term for, but this actually works with students who are of disadvantaged backgrounds, and he is right now there, as I suppose the background noises are showing sometimes. So there are some children, and he highlighted that it is very important that the things that he has learned during his studies and as a member of the student college are very much useful in his work, and he can pass on all the knowledge that he gained during his studies.
Köszönöm szépen, Gergi, a fordítást, és nagyon szépen köszönöm a megtisztelő figyelmet.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you so much. Ezt elmondom. Thank you, Pichu and Christian. One point, we were very surprised that when Christian said that he felt himself more as student college member than a university student. It means a lot from the viewpoint of the university, I think. And how to say, szerencsére, fortunately, it is recorded now, so it's a very good interview part and to show to the rector and so on. So thank you so much to telling these stories. Also for you, Pichu. Thank you very much. And now we are ready to answer or to tell you more about the student college. And thank you for the comments. We are reading it. Thank you very much.
I think we have to